Welcome to Salt Pig, where two cookbook writers chat about the ups and downs of actual home kitchen life. What are we talking about this week, Ellie?
We're talking about Costco.
Yes.
And whether it's worth it. My membership has lapsed, and I'm at a crossroads right now. So, yeah, we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, the fist fight.
Feral.
Yeah, the fist fight I almost got into. All sorts of things. But also, you know, as a company, it seems to have some things going right for it. Mm-hmm. And as a consumer, some things right, some things kind of hectic. I don't know.
It's an institution. It's, you know, it's there.
It's a lifestyle.
Whether we want to go shopping at Costco or not. Well, you can find new and old episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, and check us out on Substack too at saltpig.substack.com. And if you are enjoying this podcast, please do us a huge favor and rate or review us on whatever platform you're using. We really appreciate it. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, or tell a friend.
Or tell a friend. That's also great. All right.
Thank you.
Let's get started. What kind of salt do you cook with normally?
Is it Diamond Kosher? The
kosher, the one that's like flaky and that all the chefs love.
Yes, and it's not. And I've gotten dinged on all sorts of textures, and I always get confused. But I think it's the Diamond Kosher
salt.
Yes,
and I don't know if you've noticed this, but at my grocery stores around here, it's gotten really expensive all of a sudden.
Wildly expensive, and the boxes have gotten smaller.
And the boxes are smaller, but it's
Talk
like
about
over
the
$10.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But I do think it is the same salt. It's just gotten really expensive. Like they are now charging a premium for it because everybody's seeking it out.
Yes. But I'm literally like, this box, I mean, it lasts a long time, but I'm like, I don't know. It's like over $10 for a box of salt. And I'm like,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts.
And it's not special salt.
No.
The only reason it's become special is because all the chefs have been like, oh, this is what we use because it's so easy to season, through pinches, and you can see it as you're seasoning rather than like the fine salt.
I know. And I keep thinking about switching salts just as a cost savings. And then every time I get another salt, first of all, it throws everything off. But also, like, I don't know, you get used to that feeling in your fingers of what to do. So, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I had switched to like a pink salt.
Oh, really?
Like a Himalayan fine salt, not the moist kind, like the dry kind.
Yeah.
And because there is a slight difference in flavor. Like the flavor is a little bit more complex. Mm-hmm. And I got used to that, but then for some reason was after a photo shoot or something, I had like the kosher salt back in my kitchen. I was like, oh God, this is so nice.
Yeah.
It just really feels good, like in your hands.
It really feels good.
And it makes like seasoning to taste a lot easier than the fine salt.
Oh, definitely. And also, I would think for recipe development, it would be really hard. I've had that exact conversation with clients in the past where they're like, I only use pink Himalayan salt. And I'm like, we can't call for that exclusively in a cookbook. I don't want to be a jerk. But I was like, we just can't. It's just like, I don't
mind that in a cookbook, because to me it's like, all right, well, this is who you are. I'm going to use my salt,
right?
Because I think that's what like most people do. But I'm like, this tells me who you are, that you are using Himalayan salt. It feels like personality to me.
It is personality. That's true. It just doesn't feel that translatable. I mean, if you could say pink salt or whatever salt you're using, then it would work out great. But like, I mean, I can't remember how salty pink salt is. Is it kind of comparable?
In my mind, like the fine salts are all roughly the same.
Yeah.
And if it's like a fine pink salt, it's basically the same as like a fine in sea salt.
Okay.
But
not the same as Diamond Crystal.
But then the Diamond Crystal is actually, they're mini flakes.
Yeah.
So it's actually like aerated compared to like how dense like a teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt or fine sea salt is. It's like you actually can double the Diamond Kosher salt.
Yeah. That gets very complicated in a recipe.
It does. And I've read so many disclaimers about salt in cookbooks.
Yes.
I've written a bunch of them.
Of course,
read articles about this and stuff. And still, I think that people are just using whatever salt they've got. It's not going to like change people's behaviors in a kitchen.
Absolutely true. And also, this is something I talk about with clients all the time, is like, is like, should we be measuring? Like, do people want to measure salt? Like in general, like do cookbook readers want to measure salt? Do recipe writers want to measure salt? No one really wants to measure salt, but then you're like, it's also kind of important in certain circumstances to give people this baseline and to help them learn. And it's always kind of a tough conversation, I feel like, to figure out.
I'm a big advocate of measuring the salt just because otherwise it's really like the difference between
I know.
cooking something and having it taste really delicious and being like, wow, I made this.
Yeah.
And something that's like, all right, this tastes like
Dull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know. One of the clients that I work with, she told me that her rule of thumb is like a teaspoon of kosher salt per pound of meat. Oh. And I hadn't heard that before.
I remember you telling me that once, and it is very satisfying to have some kind of...
It kind of changed everything for
Yeah.
me. I was like, oh, this gives me the baseline.
Yeah.
And maybe, it doesn't work perfectly every single time, but so I even think of that in terms of like roasted vegetables and not just meat, but I'm like, okay, a pound of cooked food essentially is about a teaspoon of kosher salt.
Interesting.
A diamond kosher salt. And it's been a really helpful thing to keep in the back of my mind.
Interesting. I might ponder that too. The problem is, I mean, but like, do you have just that muscle memory where you're then able to be like, that was about a teaspoon? Or are you measuring?
Now I just measure it.
You do?
Because then
kind
I'm...
of garden style.
Pretty much, yeah. At least when I'm making something, like even like roasted vegetables, I want to be able just to like throw everything on the sheet pan, drizzle with olive oil, add salt and pepper. And I mean, it always tastes okay, but when it's properly seasoned, it actually tastes amazing.
Yeah.
And so that also involves like mixing it together properly in a bowl and then scraping it onto the sheet pan and like maybe measuring out the salt or at the very least, I just add a little bit more salt than I think should be in there. And that often makes a difference.
Maybe that could be my baby step.
Maybe. But when you're making something like meatballs or hamburgers or something, just try the teaspoon of salt per pound of meat. And I mean, I'd be curious to hear what you think and if that feels as like transformative to you as it was to me.
I'm sure, because again, I think I've said before, I definitely underseason. And then I'll try to sometimes compensate later, or sometimes I'll just be like, well, you can add some salt and pepper at the table. I know that doesn't work the same. I mean, it's laziness. It's just like, I don't know what it is, but it's not the right way. I mean, being on this podcast has made me so much more conscious of how like lazy I am in the kitchen and how like these small efforts do make a difference. So that could be my goal this week. I could try to make just the teeniest bit of more seasoning. I could try measuring a little bit.
Well, when I was working with that client I mentioned, I started just leaving the measuring spoon in the salt cellar, in the salt pig.
In the salt pig, yeah.
In the salt pig.
In the mouth.
And so now, rather than, I just have like a quarter teaspoon in there. So that helps me to measure rather than
pinch.
reach for just pinches.
That's a good idea. Maybe I'll just keep it in there.
Yeah.
And just see what happens.
Well, so I started this story, which will lead to the topic today. And so I was at Costco and I saw diamond salt and it was like $3.99 and I got so excited.
You were like, hot damn, I'm getting it.
I threw that in the cart so fast and then I got home and emptied it into my little salt cellar and it's like iodized like table salt. I haven't cooked with this type of, I mean, it sounds like such a snob right now, but I have not cooked with this type of salt in such a long time.
Yeah.
And I've got like a 5-pound box of it. And I'm trying to figure out like what I'm going to do with all this salt. And it's been so hard. It's thrown all of my cooking off. Like doing some baking and I was like seasoning. It's like, the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, just use half as much. But then you are sometimes cooking things where you need to like I was broiling some fish and, I'm not going to get out a measuring spoon to like sprinkle the fish with salt.
Yeah.
But then I was putting the pinches over like, oh God, is this going to end up being like way too salty?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
And then even the other night, I was making like a baked rice thing based on one of your recipes. And
good.
I was seasoning the boiling water and my instinct is just like to pour salt from the box when I do that.
Yeah.
came cascading out of the box. The water was so over-seasoned. I was able to kind of like add more water and fix it, but it's really thrown everything off, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the salt so that I can just
was the only thing I was
normal.
thinking is I was like, you could just season your boiling water for like the rest of your life with that salt. It could just be exclusively, but even that sounds like it's going to take some adjusting.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I might just save it for like salt in the sidewalks next winter or something.
Yeah. You could make some sort of scrubbing your cutting board kind of move. Although it's probably not even as good for that because it's not as like crusty. It's not as big. I don't know why Costco doesn't hold. If only Costco would do, even if it was just less than $12 a box, I'd take that.
Well,
what choice do we have?
Costco charges a maximum of 15% margin. So it would be, I saw Diamond Kosher Salt at Trader Joe's where I think it was like $9 a box, which seemed really expensive to me.
Yeah.
But based on, because it used to be so cheap. It was everywhere and it was so cheap.
I know.
But this could be our segue into the Costco talk. Like, why don't they carry Diamond Kosher Salt?
I would love to have a one-on-one conversation with the buyers at Costco, because I feel like there are certain things that it's just like, if there's a lost opportunity here that like everyone would be buying, because there's a huge list of stuff that I just buy at Costco no matter, like that's just where I get it. And salt seems like a very obvious, like just make it so that people just buy their salt there. But they do have a bunch of different salts. They have like the Himalayan pink salt. They have a plastic like tub of kosher salt. It's a different kosher salt. It's much coarser. I've been tricked by that, and it's not what you want.
No.
Yeah. Way too coarse. Talk about like, you could use it on your sidewalk, but that's sort of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And also, if you want to really throw off the seasoning in your food, try cooking with that stuff.
That's for sure. I mean, even your fingers, really, you dip your fingers dissolve. And you're like, this isn't it. This is wrong.
It's crazy. And then you're like, they must have the data to know that, like, this has become such a default salt in the world of cooking.
I know.
Why don't they carry it? But I also wouldn't be surprised if some Costco's across the country did carry it and they just don't have it at the ones where we shop.
Right. Well, I think that's definitely true. The other salt, actually, they have Malden salt in the little pails. Have you seen them? Like a little bucket?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. It's so cute. And so, I hate spending money on fancy salt. That's not really, I feel like it's not really the direction I want to be going in, but I'm like, I can't resist this just to like have for,
just the bucket and buy it once and
it
run
lasts
out of
for
stuff?
years. Yeah.
Well, what are your Costco staples?
Oh, what are my Costco staples? Well, I was just thinking about this because my Costco membership has actually run out. So I stupidly was like, I don't have time to go to Costco anytime soon. So I'll like do an online order, even though it costs 1,000,000 times more.
It doesn't save you any money.
It doesn't save you any money. I was like, I'll do it. And I started loading in all the things that I always get. And it didn't have like half of the stuff that I go to Costco for. Mm-hmm. So it's like, all paper products. That's boring. Toilet paper, paper towels, garbage bags, like that kind of stuff, laundry detergent. Etc. The food stuff, though, all those special things that are really fun to get there, like kimbap, I think we talked about here. They just don't, that's just disappeared. They just never have that again. Or like even one thing I definitely like, it's kind of not a Costco run if I don't get boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And they have, or these organic ones that like come in this pack. It's really easy. They're all like shrink wrapped really well, so you can just throw the whole thing in the freezer. So it's like I'll get like at least 3 packs of those, or it like comes in a 3-pack. I'll at least get a bunch of those to stick in the freezer. But it was so annoying because they had those, but they cost like $7 or $8 a pound. And I was like, this is actually more expensive than the grocery store. The grocery store maybe doesn't have organic, which is great to get at Costco. You feel like you're kind of getting more for your money. But I was like, this is suddenly not cheap anymore to have this little piece, this little pack of chicken that's going to cost like more than $10. Seems kind of nuts.
Well, it's the whole 3-pack thing.
Well,
right?
the whole 3-pack. So the 3-pack costs something like $40.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is some chicken thighs. This isn't filet mignon. Like, I don't know. I was kind of frustrated by that.
Well, the online delivery stuff is powered by Instacart. And then I saw a TikTok that said that you can actually order from Costco through the website and you don't have to be a member.
I heard that too. Yes, because then I filled out this whole cart and then it said I wasn't a member anymore. And I was like, oh. And I was like, I was so unsatisfied.
So it's not true. Okay.
Well, it is. I think it is true. But by that point, I was like, I'm not even getting the stuff that I want. They didn't have like paper towels. They didn't have the garbage bags that I needed. They didn't have all the stuff that I wanted. So I was like, this is starting to just feel like I'm spending hundreds of dollars on like, I don't even know what I was getting. Need. Yeah. I always get like olive oil. That's a big thing I get there. Butter. They didn't have the butter. They didn't have Kerrygold. They didn't have regular butter.
I wonder what that's about. It's so, it's kind of opaque.
It's very opaque. And I think also it does have a tremendous amount to do with just like the Brooklyn warehouse, which I think is probably like the most.
Yeah, the Brooklyn Costco is really, I've been to Costco's in other parts of the country. There's nothing like this Brooklyn
Nothing
Costco.
like it.
It is a little bit feral.
Oh my God. It's like the Wild West. I can't remember whether I told you, I was there a few months ago. And I mean, it literally takes me all day to go. Like I drop off the kids. I immediately get in the car. I like go there. And it takes like at least 45 minutes to find a parking spot. Yeah. Like you just circle around and people are acting insane and like camping out in certain spots.
Lined up all the way around.
All
like
the way
warehouse.
Around. Oh.
It's a warehouse. It's the same size as any other Costco. People are lined up all the way around to get in the morning.
Oh, for sure. There's practically a line on 3rd Avenue just to like turn in there.
Yeah.
And it's so tight. Everyone's like, there's about to have an accident like on every turn. So I finally found someone who was like unloading their cart. Like they may have even been rolling their cart. I was like, great, put my blinker on, was waiting there. To make a long story short, someone came up the other direction. As this person was pulling out, they were blocking me to pull out. This other person just went right in and he knew I was waiting. And I literally got out of the car and almost started a fist fight. And I was like, I like totally lost my mind. And then I was like,
what happened?
I mean, I literally like opened the car and I was like,
did you confront him?
Oh yeah. Cause I was like, I was so mad. And he just like could not care less.
Didn't care. Just kept, just walked
literally
on his way
was
to Costco.
Like
didn't even
crazy lady. Like he gave me like the finger. He like walked off.
He thought you were a crazy lady.
He thought I was a crazy lady, which I was acting kind of crazy. But he like gave me the finger and then he just like walked off. Then I gave him the finger like 1,000 times and that didn't accomplish anything. And then I like had to just keep looking for a parking spot. I was like, I hate this experience. And then it takes hours there. Then there's like, 1,000 people online. Then it takes, when you get home, it takes 1,000 hours to unload. Then you have to go find parking in your own neighborhood. I can barely be ready to pick up the kids. Yeah. 6 hours later.
No, it's the funny thing. So I've been reading all these articles about Costco because people are obsessed with it as a business model.
Yes.
Like, especially like entrepreneurial type people and people who, want to deify business leaders and stuff like Costco is sort of like the gold standard of grocery. And even just like the membership based model. Mm-hmm. And then I guess it has roots in like the sort of turn of the century, like a socialist sensibility around.
Oh, I could see that. Sort of.
I mean, not to summarize all this stuff, but like employees are treated really well. They have great health care. Their wages are like double what people get paid at Walmart.
Wow.
The founders of Costco and Walmart sort of started at the same time, sort of early iterations of what these companies have now begun. Walmart's gone one way where everybody who works at Walmart is basically on food stamps as well, whereas Costco people, it's been sort of like a path to like, or, can support like a middle-class life. the way that it's the capped 15% margin, the cleverness of like it being this warehouse setting where they save all this money, not having to like do all the shelving and all the slotting that like most grocery stores have to do.
Yeah.
The limited number of items that they have.
Yeah,
it's like
the
most
high curation. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also like most grocery stores have like over 100,000 SKUs, which is, a SKU is like an item inside a grocery store, whereas Costco only has like 4,000 of them.
Wow.
So it's like there's all these different ways that they become incredibly efficient and profitable, and then at the same time make it a great place to work with like really high retention
Interesting.
of employees. And then you go shopping there, and I feel like it kind of brings like the craziest person out of every customer.
Certainly.
It unleashes this like feral thing inside all of us.
Yes.
And it's like capitalism in its like most
Yes.
extreme imaginative expression. It's so crazy.
It is. I mean, to see like people just literally like going in there and buying hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. This is me too. Just packing these huge carts with just like stuff is really odd.
It's really weird. I brought Vincent to Costco for his first Costco experience because it's not really a thing in Australia. I think maybe now it is, but when he first got here, it wasn't. And he was speechless.
Yeah.
And this was around the pandemic, and we went there, and I got a tube of tortilla chips that's like the height of like a teenager or something. And he was like, what are you even going to do with that many tortilla chips? And I was like, I don't know. It's a pandemic and it's Costco. And we got to get the tortilla chips. Come on. It's like, he was like, who are you? What is this? Now he's fully part of it.
Really?
He loves our Costco membership. He loves going to Costco.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's in the church.
Oh, my gosh. I remember when I lived in California, I was dating someone who was also from a foreign country, and all of his family would come and visit all the time, and like friends and whoever, and they'd stay with us. And we lived like in the Bay Area, like a gorgeous part of the country with so much to do. There was no question on everyone's list, at least once, we were going to go to Costco.
Yeah.
And people were going to go crazy. They were just, and it was so, I was like, yeah, okay, I guess we can go to Costco again and like help everybody buy like sweatsuits, I guess, for like everyone that they know. But it was,
oh, is that what the sort of stuff people wanted?
A lot of like outerwear, a lot of there was a lot of like deals that you just couldn't like get anywhere else.
It gets you in this mindset too, where you're like, it's a Costco and it's an iPad and it must be a really good deal, so I better get it. It's like it brings out this a madness.
I know.
A total madness.
I know. Yeah, like electric toothbrushes. Yeah, I guess we do need 4 new ones of those. Like just
exactly.
It's only $90. Just like it's absurd. It's crazy.
I know. Yeah, it really is. When I had my veggie burger business, I used to work with a number of different like suppliers for the ingredients and stuff. And then at the time I wasn't shopping at Costco, or I wasn't a member there. I hadn't been there since I was a kid. And I went with somebody to Costco and I was like, this is crazy. This stuff is cheaper than what I'm getting through like the wholesale pricing on like the quinoa and the almonds and the hazelnuts and like all these pretty expensive ingredients for the veggie burgers I was making. And then in New York, you look around and you see it like, oh, this is where like all the bodegas are getting all the stuff, all the candy bars and the sports drinks and the, and the
all the
bags of nuts and the water. All the restaurants are buying their mayo and their ketchup and their meat. It's like, this is such a huge swath of people coming to like buy. And then, so they're all like reselling it too.
Yeah. It's fascinating that works. Tom and I were out on Saturday night. We had a babysitter, and on the way home from dinner, we were like, oh, let's go get like an ice cream or something. We didn't pass by like any fun ice cream place. So we were like, oh, we'll just pop into a bodega and get something. And I'm very picky about ice cream. Big surprise. But so I was like, I'm just warning you, Tom, because I think it makes him crazy sometimes that I'm like not just sort of getting something and being happy with it. So I was like, I'm just going to warn you ahead of time. I may or may not buy anything in this bodega. Like, you should buy whatever you want. I may participate. I may not. So we went in and he was like, oh, great. Like, whatever. He found something. He was going to get it. And I saw these Haagen-Dazs ice cream bars, but it wasn't the flavor that I really wanted. So I was like, oh, just out of curiosity, I asked him how much it was. And it was like $4 for this ice cream bar. And I was like, I'm just going to get the one that I want at the grocery store and just get a bunch of them. And this bodega guy was really nice. And he was like, I wish we could charge less for them, but like we just don't get them. He's like, I don't make any money on those. It's just, for some reason, those are just incredibly expensive. And he's like, it would be cheaper for me to literally go to the grocery store and buy a pack of them myself and then resell them. He's like, and sometimes I do that. And I was like, oh, I felt really bad because I was like, I should probably just, I don't know, keep it in the community. But I was like, I didn't have the flavor that I wanted. But yeah. But I could see why people are going to Costco and getting that stuff. Though I do feel like the prices have really creeped up. But maybe it's just...
I think that's everything. Yeah.
Right. I think it's just everything.
Well, I think it's like a fixed 15% margin maximum. So some things are less than that. But like if the prices are going up, that's probably like the cost of everything going up.
Okay. That's a good way of thinking about it. Maybe that seems more reasonable. Because I was like, as I was going through my list, I was just like, well, I guess I could just get that at the grocery store. Oh, I can get that at the Asian market. Oh, I can all these things. I was like, it would just be easier to just click yes on getting this delivery. But also the delivery charges are just insane. And
I think doing a delivery doesn't make it quite as lucrative for, cost savings perspective.
Yeah. But what are your must-haves when you go?
We go...
how often do you guys go?
Probably like every 6 weeks or so. A month to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm a big fan of the olive oil. There's an organic olive oil that we always buy, and I don't know why it's so cheap, but it is. It's like $17 for 2 big jars or 2 big bottles.
Oh, is it the one that has this like animal on the front?
The yellow.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah, that's what
one.
I get. Yeah,
yeah.
I know. I'm always like, I don't know why this is the least expensive by the ounce of all of the olive oils, but I'm like, I buy like 6 bottles at once. I'm like,
and it's organic, and I believe it's like single origin too. Yeah, and it's pretty good. I've bought the Kirkland version of organic olive oil, and that one can be kind of
hit or
bad
miss.
tasting. I think. Yeah. So we always buy that. We always buy. I love like the things of dates like that we get there. Any like the animal protein, those are a lot cheaper there.
Yeah.
The drinks, he loves like the Celsius things, which are those like caffeinated drinks. I really love the vanilla paste. You know that one?
Oh yeah, I
vanilla
love that.
paste that they carry that, and it's like a bigger jar, and it's a lot cheaper than anywhere else I've ever seen.
Oh, for sure. The vanilla's amazing. Same with the Better Than Bouillon. They also have.
Yeah, the Better Than Bouillon. Yeah, exactly.
Huge jar. Yeah.
Yes. And then what else do we get? We always buy like tuna and sardines from there. Mm-hmm. We try to give ourselves like one little treat, which is like always it's so hard to choose. And it's like such a commitment.
I know.
That you're like, if I get this thing, it's going to, we're going to have 45 servings of it sitting around. But,
like what sort of treats?
Like sometimes, like those little Parmesan crisp crackers. Have you had those? Those are so good.
Yeah, they're really good.
And then I bought it by accident once, but those like Unreal candy bars.
Oh yeah, those are good too.
That are,
coconut
they're just candy bars.
I know.
But for some reason they feel like a virtuous candy bar or something. And it's just the packaging, I guess. And then like black peppercorns. I always get my black peppercorns at Costco too, because they're it's just so many deals.
I know. It's true.
Do you feel any guilt about being a Costco shopper? You don't seem like a guilt-ridden type of person. No? Or I am. I definitely.
Well, yeah. Tell me about that. In what way?
Well, I feel like my ideal person would, like I did this morning, I got up early and I wanted to get to the farmer's market because I can't do it. I couldn't do it on Monday. Can't do it on Wednesday. Weekend's too crazy. Yeah. I just like factor this into my weekday. Lucky to be able to do that. And ideally, I'd just like buy everything there. I would love to get like all of our vegetables, all of our meats, the fish, just do it all. But I'd spend so much money, and it's just like not very convenient.
Yeah.
And I know that like these things aren't meant to be convenient. This is meant to be, this is a practice. This isn't like being a consumer. But then Costco is just like, it gets into your blood, and it like gives you this like, it's like some American cocaine or something. They're just like, I gotta buy my stuff. I don't, it just brings out something in me that like, once it wears off, I'm a little bit like hungover and like,
Oh,
why did
for
I do
sure.
that? You know?
I know. I know. Yeah. When I'm driving home from Costco, I'm always like, what have I done? Like, I'm literally, the car is like stocked it's filled to the brim. And I'm like, this is there's something kind of gross about it, about just like so much stuff. It's this excess.
All the packaging at the end, when you have this like
insane.
stack of cardboard boxes, you're like, I'm embarrassed to put this out by the trash right now.
I know. It's true. Especially once you like put stuff into its own Ziploc bags, which has their own complications and this and that. And you're just like, yeah. But there is that satisfaction of just being like, man, as I say to Tom, like every time I go to Costco, I'm like, we never need to go food shopping again. Ever.
Yeah.
It's done. We're
stocked.
set. We are totally set. I mean, there's something really fun about getting huge amounts of things at once, because I am one of those people that like loves to be stocked. So having, like big jars of quinoa and, I don't know.
Oh, the quinoa, almonds, cashews, all the nuts.
Yeah, all the nuts. All these big bags of flour. Like now they sell bread flour, which has been really handy. I don't know if you've gotten any there.
That would have been great when I was working on my bread machine book.
I don't feel guilty exactly, but I do feel like I do it as an economic play. And when I start to feel like I might not actually be saving any money, then I start to say this might not be worth it. And I think it is in general a savings.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's a savings, especially again, like the grocery stores in Brooklyn are so expensive, but that's the problem. Everything's so expensive. So I'd love to go to the farmer's market too and buy all my produce and, like you're saying, all these meats and special ingredients and stuff. I don't know. It just doesn't seem affordable.
It doesn't seem and it's not really like a viable option for very many people at all.
No, it doesn't seem to be. I mean, I think it's great, I guess, if we can all go and get a few things. And again, I'm not blaming anybody. I know that this stuff is incredibly expensive to produce, and it must be so. We were just walking past our locals farmers market when they were closing down last weekend, and I was like, God, this work must just be endless to like pack up these trucks. They were packing up these trucks with all the stuff that they hadn't sold, and I was like, what a downer that must be. Even if you have like a gangbusters day, to still just be like, I have all this perishable stuff that I'm just packing back into this truck, and like, what are you going to do with it? I don't know.
I know.
I mean, hopefully they have a plan, but I don't know how the economics of that really can work.
Yeah. I guess it's also like we end up buying the organic chicken breasts and organic meats, but they're like, those chicken breasts are, I don't know if you've ever got them from Costco. They're huge.
No, they're huge.
And it's kind of disgusting.
No, it is.
Like they're way, way, way too big, even for being, and like they're organic too. So I don't know why. I don't feel like pumped with water or like what's going on.
No, I know.
That makes me feel a little icky because it's obviously like industrialized.
It's super
meat production on a huge scale.
Yes.
One of the things, like I read today, Costco switched its like salmon sourcing from like, maybe it wasn't salmon, it was some fish, or maybe it was a couple of fish, from Chile to like Norway. And this basically disrupted the entire global seafood supply. That's like the scale of how big and influential Costco is.
I believe it.
And so then you're like buying these chicken breasts, which, I mean, it's how different is it from whatever I'm getting at the grocery store or anywhere else? But I'm like, I don't. It's not like Costco is like trying to conceal any of this. It's like this is just this is what shopping is in 2026 and in America. So
that's right.
I don't know. It's my own issues.
No, I'm totally with you. I don't really want to think about these giant chickens because I'm like, I know it's not great.
No.
I mean, whatever I find out is just going to be bad news.
Right.
So it's not a great thing to just put your head in the sand with that. But I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay, so, and it's so silly. Then I'm like, but these at least are organic, like that.
I know.
As a consumer,
I pay the premium for the organic.
Exactly. Not knowing what it means, knowing that it's not actually that meaningful.
It just makes me feel a little bit better
Right.
about in this situation, I'm making this choice.
Yes.
Even
making
though
a better choice. Right.
the situation is largely the same, regardless
Right.
of what
I'm in a
choice I make.
warehouse buying giant
Exactly.
chicken breasts. Yeah. No, that's right. But yeah, the alternative, I mean, buying chicken at the farmer's market, I have no idea how much it would cost, but it's, I think, quite a bit.
You're paying, I think, for a lot more like human labor.
Yeah.
At the farmer's market, whereas everything's so industrialized. I do feel like shopping there. People are really like, everybody that works there is really nice.
Yes.
And that I think makes such a huge difference too in the feeling of like just feeling good about shopping at Costco.
Yes.
And that everything you read is like, there's good health care, there's 401k, there's like people stay for a really long time. Like that, if we're going to be all trapped inside this giant industrialized corporate system, at least have
That
good
has
jobs
going
for
for it.
people.
Absolutely.
Have you been to a Walmart lately?
No. Well, no, not especially lately, but probably in the last year. It's pretty grim there.
It's so palpable.
Yeah.
Like that these are terrible jobs for people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can sense the misery, and then you see all these stats about like Walmart employees are like one of the biggest beneficiaries of like government SNAP benefits and stuff because they keep everybody from being like full-time employees, so they're all on like hourly part-time rates and they can't support themselves. And it's such a dismal business model.
It's really grim. Especially, and obviously, like, I think those are jobs that exist in places where there might not be a lot of other jobs. So then you're also like, there's not a ton of alternatives.
And they do have they have their finger on some type of pulse for like just tickling that little like joy, you know, like when I remember the first time I took Vincent to Costco, I was like, we're going to get a soft serve because at this Costco, at which I had not had one since I was a kid, but it's like, you got to have the proper Costco experience. I don't really like hot dogs, but it should have been a hot dog, but in lieu of a hot dog, we did the soft serve. And so you pay for all your purchases, and then at this one, they give you a little like voucher, and then you go turn it in to the food court person. And so we went to handed over the voucher, and the guy was like, oh, just a soft serve? And I was like, oh yeah, just a soft serve. And he takes this cup, which was probably like a 4-ounce cup. And I'm not kidding. He got 18 inches of soft serve piled on top of that little.
You better start eating fast.
Vincent watched this happen. He was like, what is going on? This isn't like, it was the chocolate vanilla swirl, and it just kept getting like higher, such that we're like holding it and trying to like balance the soft serve so it doesn't like topple over while we're walking. It was so funny.
Oh.
And that was the last time we got the soft serve, but
I mean,
how delightful that for like $1.49 you get more soft serve than you should possibly be eating in one sitting.
Yeah, well, they are like exceeding expectations, certainly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've definitely gone there with the kids and Tom like in the last year, and we've all been like starving, and we'll be like, okay, we'll just eat something first, and then we'll go shopping. And it's like they price this stuff knowing all this goes. So it makes so much more sense to get like one pizza, an entire pizza, than it does to get like 3 slices or something.
4 slices, yeah.
So I'm like, just in case we have enough. So we order this whole pizza. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's just
like 2 feet in diameter.
Oh my God. It's massive. On one hand, I'm like, that's really exceeding expectations. But on the other hand, I'm like, what on earth am I going to do with all this, like these like 3 giant slices of pizza that no one's eaten? So there's a lot of waste. The pizza's not even that bad. I mean, it's not great
really?
pizza.
I haven't had it. Okay.
It's not good pizza, but it's hot, and it's, I don't know, they're like pulling
cheesy, bready.
Yeah. They're pulling them right out of the oven. I don't know.
And when you're hungry, it's going to probably hit the spot. There was one other thing about Costco that I wanted to mention about how regional they are.
Oh, yeah. I was actually going to say that too. Yeah.
Which I think is so fun when you're traveling and you have the opportunity to like dip into a Costco.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if it was the same one, but we happened to be in San Francisco and drove and went through the Costco. And I was like, oh my God, what is all this fun stuff?
Yeah.
There was all these like great like packaged noodles and like Korean stuff and like all this Hawaiian food that I'm like, you don't see this at the Costco in New York.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was just so fun to like sort of like pour through all those things,
Of
even when we
course.
didn't end up buying them.
Oh, yeah.
And like in New York, the one down in Brooklyn that you've been going to has all that halal stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Which like a huge like brimming shelves with all the halal stuff. The one up in Long Island City has all these great like Korean ingredients and noodles and things.
And some kind of obscure stuff too.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, the world's most giant package of like dried sea cucumbers. You're like,
yes.
oh gosh, I'm not going to buy it probably because I don't know what I'd do
But
with
somebody
them.
obviously will.
Yeah.
These are all like data informed decisions
Yeah.
that they're making. And I kind of like love how they dedicate some energy to like servicing,
Oh, for sure.
like the local needs wherever they,
For sure.
they plant their Costco's.
It would be a really interesting job to be like, oh yeah, this will really work with the Long Island City crowd, but not with the, regular Long Island crowd or whatever.
Yeah. Or like the Brooklyn crowd.
Yeah. But I'm just jealous of like whenever I go visit my sister, like or my mom or something, if we go to Costco, it's literally like, it's so civilized to just like you pull into a parking spot. You go inside. You might buy only like 5 items and then just pay for them and leave. I'm like, you can be in and out in like a half an hour.
Oh, yeah. It's like shopping at any other grocery store.
Right.
Just you get exercise because it's so big.
Right. Whereas I now I go probably like once every 2 or 3 months, and then I just really stock up, and it's insane. Also, I've been to ones, I can't remember whether they had it in California or Washington when I lived there, but the alcohol, they used to have like amazing deals on alcohol, which was awesome.
It's all private label stuff. Like we love the Bombay Sapphire gin for like gin and tonics. And there's like the Kirkland version that I think is the same.
Right. It's won all these
got
awards
like the same
and stuff,
bottle
doesn't it?
and it's really good. Yeah. And it's so cheap.
Yeah.
It's this giant bottle of gin for like $30 or something. Yeah. You can't do that in New York.
Can't do
They
that
have
in New
different liquor regulations. What's the plan for dinner tonight?
That's a good question. Well, I did want to tell you, I made the caramelized tuna at last.
You did?
Yes. So one thing that was really interesting about it, so I made it in the context of sushi bowls, which I think I've mentioned before, which is
yeah.
where we make like rice and have like avocado and cucumbers and little seaweed snacks. Another great thing from Costco, seaweed snacks. So I made the caramelized tuna because I think I was like making salmon and I didn't have enough. So I was like, oh, I'll make that also and see how everyone feels about it. And it was really yummy. It was odd because it was so sweet.
Oh, okay. Did you follow the recipe?
I followed the
taste
recipe, but I thought in the context of sushi bowls, it really made sense. You know what it reminded me of was, when you get that like broiled eel in a Japanese restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
It really gave me that sort of feeling when I was eating it because
Okay.
it's like a little bit sweet, it's salty, and it has this like kind of meaty texture because it's been cooked a tiny bit, so it's like a little very sort of toothsome. But I thought it was really great. I don't think I'd want to just eat it like in a bowl by itself necessarily.
Oh yeah, you have to put it on rice or something at least.
Yeah. But there was something about with like the avocado and some other texture and some white rice. I thought it was pretty yummy.
Oh, that's
Way
cool.
to snazz it up. Yeah. So I was.
I
glad
mean,
to have
and
that.
for like a can of tuna, it's so easy, right?
For real.
Did you use the water packed tuna or?
Yes, I
oil?
just used the water packed tuna because that's all I had. So I was
That's
like,
what I usually do.
Yeah, it would be fun to try it like with the exact recipe, because I'm sure that, oil packed tuna is so delicious, and it does seem to have a certain unctuousness that water packed tuna
It's
can
like
never
luscious.
have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was excited for
fun.
that. So maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll do something like that because I don't have any meats defrosting or we just had pasta last night. I don't know. I need something else.
Yeah.
Some fish.
Okay.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Well, I wanted to tell you, I think I mentioned this earlier, but you wrote that great thing about the old-fashioned rice gratin.
Oh, yeah. Did you do something about it?
I did. And I had made like oven-baked risotto before, but I don't think I'd ever made a rice gratin.
Yeah.
And you write so compellingly about it that I was
thanks, Lucas.
so inspired.
Oh.
I, of course, did my own thing, and I had to like
Yes.
proteinify it and
Yes.
stuff.
So what did you do with protein? That's an interesting.
Well, I'm working on, for my book, I'm working on this like sort of like sauce that's like it sounds so gross when you describe it, but it's actually really good. And it's like a creamy green sauce with like cottage cheese blend into it.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
And you can use it to make like a stovetop mac and cheese type thing. And but I wanted to like give a couple different applications for it, and so I wondered if you could incorporate it into like a baked grains.
Yeah.
And it worked really well. So I roasted off some like random assortment of vegetables.
Yeah.
And then I cooked half rice, half quinoa. And then mixed it all together. I diluted it with some of the cooking water and topped it with some Parmesan.
Yum.
It was delicious.
That's a great idea.
So good.
That's a really fun way of thinking about it. Especially with quinoa. Like, I've never, did you cook them together? Like just like pasta?
I just did. Yeah, in my mind, there's like two types of grains. There's short cooking ones and long cooking ones.
Yeah.
And I know that you could probably, like, they're not exact, the cooking times, but
once you're throwing
when
it
you're
in the oven.
parboiling them in, you're throwing in the oven, and like even this is what I do in the rice cooker too. I just combine everything in the rice cooker, and it always works out.
Yeah.
It's maybe more good enough than like great.
Right.
But
it's not really the purpose of the dish. I mean, it's in there's all this other stuff going on.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel like my mom used to make something that she would call like rice casserole, and it reminded me of that a little bit.
Yes,
and where it's like sliceable too. Like in my mind, I think when you had told me about this years ago, I was picturing like sort of like fluffy rice, and you like use a spoon to scoop it from, but it's more like wedges.
Yeah,
and I was almost thinking like, should I crack an egg into here to give it like a more of a
interesting idea
texture?
Yeah,
but I didn't want that to like dry it out. But it was really good.
Yeah.
I just finished off the rest of it today for breakfast.
Oh, good. Yummy breakfast. Yeah. It's, and it still hasn't like warmed up 100% here. So I guess a gratin still sounds kind of delicious.
It does. Well, the recipe that you had is like basically a ratatouille sort of like summery vegetable profile.
Yeah, it's true. Like on a rainy, maybe I'll make that tonight actually. I have some veggies I could throw in there.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah.
I was looking at a couple other recipes too, and there's one southern rice, I guess a gratin, where he makes like a roux and then puts the grains in there and bakes it all off. So it's like milky, creamy, and yummy.
Yeah. Can't be bad. And I've got some cottage cheese too, maybe. So yours was just like a blended thing that you just poured in with other liquid. Okay. Maybe I'll throw some cottage cheese in there too.
Yeah, you probably don't even need to blend it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's true. You just throw it right in. Okay. Some good ideas. Well, great.
Yeah.
Well, let's just talk soon.
Sounds good. Have a good dinner.
Okay,
Have
you
a good
too.
week.
Okay, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.